What's up, creeps, and welcome back. I am so happy to be back. The first live stream, the first after dark of 2026. And had to wait a little extra month, but we are back. I missed your creepy faces so much. I'm ready to sit down and have the first guest of the season. If you're new here, my name's Noelle. I am the weirdo Wisconsinite of Creepy Confidential. Before we start our night, though, I want to say thank you so much for joining us and continuing to ride with Creepy Confidential. We love having all of our fellow creeps, new members, subscribers, and with that, I ask that you give us a sub. Click that little sub button and feel free to interact with a like or a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Now, I would also love to know who we're talking to and also continue on to our Patreon subscribers. We recently launched our Patreon this year and it is going fantastic. That is kind of members only content. And part of the perks is that I give a shout out for our new members right here on After Dark on the live stream. So just a few people to shout out real quick. So we want to thank Christina R., Michael R., and Joanna S. Now, we're not going to give off last names because that's not what we do, but thank you for supporting Creepy Confidential. It helps me continue to bring awesome content to you guys. And because you're on Patreon, you get to see stuff that nobody else does. So very good. It's a good idea to jump over there on Patreon and check it out. Now, if you would like to become a member, you can go to creepyconfidential.com, click that Patreon button, and it'll take you right there. We just have one level, the Creep Nation level, make it easy, and it immediately opens up for everything for you. But tonight, Creepy Confidential welcomes Erin of the Doom Buddies. This one is a treat. Now, the duo could not join us tonight, but I am lucky enough to have Erin here. Now, Erin and Kate are besties that enjoy cosplay, Disney, and deep dives into the world of Halloween horror nights. Now, tonight, Erin joins us on the stream. So grab a snack and your favorite creepy beverage, because now, on to the show. Sup, creeps, and welcome to Creepy Confidential. Is Mothman really a supernatural force predicting impending doom? Did Apollo 11 really land on the moon in 1969? Did you find out if that was a cult that was living just 2 doors down that you waved to every single day when you got your mail? If these are the things you ponder when you should be sleeping, then I would like to welcome you to Creepy Confidential. I'm your host, Noelle, your resident weirdo Wisconsinite. I open case files on my favorite cryptids, cults, conspiracies, and other worldly creepy, with new cases, live broadcasts, and local lore. Some stories have been lost with time. Others are perhaps still happening today in your local communities, right up under your very creepy noses. So get ready, creeps. It's Creepy Confidential. Sup, creep?
Hey, hi,
Everybody,
how are ya?
I'm so excited. Everybody, this is Erin of the Doom Buddies. Thank you for joining us tonight. First one of the season. We've had to endure a couple little glitches, but we're here.
Thank you so much for having me. Truly, I love doing these things. I love talking about creepy things. So I am stoked for tonight, truly. So thank you so
I'm
much.
excited. You're so welcome. I'm glad that you were willing to come and talk about, some creepy things with me, because I like to do all the things. Now, before we get rolling though, I've only gave a brief little sentence of what the Doom Buddies does as a whole. Can you kind of break that down before we get rolling? Like, tell us the details here. How
Yes.
did you get there?
So, me and my best friend Kate, we met through a cosplay for charity Star Wars. It was called
Cool.
Sani was the superhero one, but they're Northridge, which was the Star Wars cosplay for charity group. So we met through that, and we basically just kind of figured out that we had a lot in common. We loved Disney. They got me more into cosplay as we became friends. And we went on a couple Disney trips together and found out that we just became the best of friends so fast. We love horror.
You guys were made for one another. Just from
Yes,
an outsider perspective, that's my thought on it.
yes. Some people really like, I believe in soulmates as a friend too. Like you just meet
Absolutely.
you meet like that kindred spirit, you know?
Yep. It's that whole kind of like twin flame energy where you don't necessarily have to be married or romantic. If you are, that's a whole nother cool ball game. But if you're not, I feel like that's where you can be you. You don't
Absolutely.
there's no other BS around it. Now, the first time I met both of you, thank goodness I did, was this last summer at the at GhoulieCon, but the one that kind of moved it, but in Covington. And
Yes.
when you two walked in your cosplays, I wanted to just stop, like leave my table and follow you around. Now,
Oh,
now the show is What We Do in the Shadows, correct?
yes.
What is the name of the character that you were doing?
So I was the guide and Kate was Nadja.
Oh, it was so perfect. It was campy, it was kitschy. The costumes were like perfectly put together. That wasn't the only one you guys did. Now you guys cosplayed The Craft that weekend,
Yes.
and then I could have sworn I saw you in a third one. Am I losing my mind?
I
Maybe it was
think it was
online.
just the two. Yeah, it was just the two. But
Just the
you've
two that
probably
weekend.
seen so many of our cosplays that we put online that you're like,
Yes.
it was
That
one of
I can
those.
appreciate. Now on here I've had Techno Wizard, and that is Justin Spicer. So that is Justin of Joanna, right? And
Yes.
he is a D&D guy, and him and I often chat about it. And I was telling him that I created a cosplay for my D&D character specifically, like with the whole how I didn't have, like, I was an elf, but my ears had been removed. I did the whole thing. And I, by far, that was probably one of my favorite like characters that I put together, was my
That's
D&D character. And
amazing.
I do quite a few of them, but it wasn't scary. It was just this like elf druid, and I got to create this character. Can you think of a cosplay over the years that you're like one you're just like, I enjoyed it, it's my favorite, I want to wear it every day? Do you have one of those?
Oh, that's
That
such
wasn't
a
on
good
the list.
one.
Pop
Um,
question.
talking about No, that's okay. Probably, either Princess Leia or Padme from Star Wars. I am a big Star Wars fan. So that the con that I went to go meet Hayden Christensen, who plays Anakin Skywalker, I went as Padme.
Mhm.
And it was her beautiful like rainbowy dress, and like I could have just worn that forever. Like it was beautiful, it was comfortable, and that's like
Mhm.
all you could ask for a cosplay is if it's comfortable.
Right? You figure out how you're like, I'm not wearing high heels. I'm going to wear this like boot situation so I can wear it all day long. And then when I get home, it's my
Yeah.
nightgown. Like some of them are just that
Yes.
comfortable.
Yes.
And
Yes.
now as a
100%.
old, like I guess I was personally, I was a haunt actor when I first started, like middle school. And I like to create creepy kind of characters. And I love haunted houses and the art that's behind them. Now, you guys go
Yes.
to HHN, and I see you guys talk about it, or
Mm,
Halloween Horror Nights. I'm learning the lingo.
yes. Yes.
And so I want to dive into that because you guys talk about that a lot. How old were you like when you went to your first, I'll say haunted house, even if it wasn't HHN, or did you go to that one first and like start big?
So I started locally. They had a couple in Buffalo where they had the haunted catacombs, and they had I can't think of the other one, but I would go to those as a young kid, and I was obsessed. And like, of course, I mean, I get extremely scared, like even to this day. But it's something about the thrill of it that just kept drawing me back. And
No, right?
I used to work at a camp, and they during October would have people volunteer as haunt actors. So I did that. And it was so
Nice.
fun being on the other side of it too, because you're like, okay, like I can see why this scares me, but scaring other people like just added a whole other
Oh, it's
element to the
fun.
haunt. It's so fun. It's so
It's so
fun.
fun. There's
Yeah.
something about it. I don't know why. It's like I am not a malicious person by nature, but I swear, like scaring the kids and getting these grown people to get scared, I'm like, what do I have that dark twist in me that I'm enjoying this?
I know.
This is
I
just not
feel
my
that.
vibe.
Yeah, for
Now,
sure.
speaking of, of haunted houses, there are all kinds of they're all scaled. They're little, like you said, local projects or up to these huge ones, which I have never been to one quite that large,
Mhm.
where it's like the big movie companies doing it. Do you remember when your first Halloween Horror Nights was that you got hooked?
Yes. So Kate went a year before me, which was 2021. No, they went before COVID, actually. And then they shut down for COVID. And then I went in 2021, which was the 30th anniversary. And that was I wish I would have gone when I was younger. I wish I would have. I remember seeing the posters and being like, oh, I don't think I can do this. But so when we went in 2021 together, we were immediately hooked. It was an amazing experience. Like, and now we're just like HHN junkies. Like, so
It seems
good.
like that how it is, and we kind of have, I'll say, kind of community friends where so I'm friends with
Yes.
people like the Toxic Icon guys, and then Joanna herself, the Josephine the Supreme, that is
Yes.
they're super into HHN Dead Man's podcast, and they keep trying. They're like, "You're gonna come with us one of these years, you're gonna come with us, creep." And I'm yet to, pardon the phrase, but like pop that cherry. I just haven't been to
Yeah.
one that big yet. It's quite a trip. So I'm still kind of waiting for that moment to be great personally. I just haven't been yet.
And once you do, though, there's no going back because you're going to be
Right?
hooked.
Like, I hope you make some money because you're gonna have to pay for your trips. Do you have one that, like, of the years that you've gone, since you have gone for several years, do you have a year where you're like, this so far, that's been the top, like all of the whole
Oh,
experience?
gosh. So it's hard not to say the first time I went, which was 30 Years, 30 Fears. That was probably my favorite, to be honest, because it was an anniversary year. So they had a lot of their OG original characters. And
Mhm.
there's so much lore with HHN. And
I'm
Kate and
learning
I did a
that.
whole series on just all of the original characters and their lore. And so
Mhm.
that was like such a cool introduction to HHN, and I was just blown away. And then they had some amazing scare zones that year, where they had the original characters. They had a bunch of other like crazy good like skits happening on the stages. Oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing. They had a Crypt TV one when that was a thing. Oh my gosh, they just were
'Cause a
amazing, and
lot
I
I feel
remember
like
being
so
awestruck.
much has happened, and like visually they've been able to create so much more in the last 30 years.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
like you get to see. I would think that would be the one to really go to, because you get to see the past, the present, and possibly a future if they're really gonna dazzle you a
Yes.
little bit. So that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
keep my eyes open. I heard about a couple of the houses, in which I because of course I'm always creeping around on everybody else's page, like, what are you doing? And
Yeah.
I think I want to see the diner that has the like bellhop or the little hops walking around with
Yeah.
like the 1950s tray, because that is very me. I've always been.
Yes.
I think I'm even wearing a like zombie pinup type of situation.
Oh my
That's just
gosh. That's perfect.
the first time I ever that's of like the first time I ever won anything was like a zombie pinup competition, and I won like second prize, and I could not believe it. So I see those and I'm like, I just want to go to watch. And then there's like another one, Knott's Farm or something like that. That looks like a really cool one
Yeah,
too.
I haven't done that yet.
They have like the guys that go back and forward on the metal plates. I just watch that all as soon as Halloween season starts. I'm
Yeah.
like,
But
can I
I think
please
you would have a
go?
Yeah, yeah, I think you would love it, and people do dress up, like, if you went up in your whole pin-up outfit, like, slay, like, people would love that, like, it's such a great environment for us horror people, like, it
Right,
really is,
like
no one, like, will judge you for dressing up creepy.
because clearly you're there if you're in it, like you love it. And I think I it's
Yes.
hard to find a place like that because if I dress up like I want to, most places around here, they're like, "You're weirdo," you know? I'm like, "Yep, sure am."
In a good
And I
way, in the
think
best
in a
way.
good way, right, right, not in like, the current state of affairs kind of way, but I
Right.
I like that, and I wanna be right around people that like Halloween and creepy things. Now, with that, I think
Yes.
movies are such a big because you guys talk about movies too, and
Mhm.
I use movies as pop culture references, around Creepy Confidential a lot between the lectures and things like that. So, I kinda wanna slide to movies, and are sometimes that's kind of what's inspired us, like, as a kid, maybe you saw a movie and then it clicked, like Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, whatever, and for me, those are mine. And is there any sort of, like, movie that's really stuck with you that made you interested in I'll say an uncommon subject or something like this? So, like, a movie when you were a kid that you absolutely loved. That's weird. Oh, did we lock up? We sure did. Well, folks, she'll be back here in just a moment. I think her little computer was probably giving her a hard time. So she will be back here in just a moment. Now, while we wait for her technical difficulties, I'm just going to check my phone to make sure that she's not messaging me. And I think that movies are something that we're going to continue to talk about. That we want to make sure all these creepy references, and these are things like Creepy Reacts is coming out, and we're going to be talking about the movies that made us. And those types of movies are so important. You're back.
I'm back, I'm so sorry, I don't know what happened.
That's okay.
It,
I
like,
figured
dropped
I was
me.
like, I'll just keep talking about movies. I was mentioning, so is there a of all these, like, horror movies and the reason why they do HHN, or even a strange and obscure movie, was there a particular one about the strange and obscure that inspired your interest into these things? Something that stuck with you?
Hmm. I have always been a huge fan of, um, like, aliens, um, anything that has to do with, like, extraterrestrial, sci-fi, that is my favorite thing. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so, like, the Aliens movie, The Thing, like, those are big ones for me. And I know that when we were on the panel at GhouliCon, I talked about
Mhm.
how, um, oh, I
She's your
can't think of her
hero.
name. I'm, like, blanking today. The
It's both
lead
of
in
us.
Alien. Yes, I know, really, like, what the heck? Um, she was, like, my favorite final girl, and it just I don't know, thinking about the unknown in this vast universe is something that, like, has always been intriguing to me, and I don't know, I really love those types of movies. They just really grab me. I don't know.
Yeah, so fun fact, I'm sure I've mentioned it here around Creepy Confidential. And I think I mentioned it when we were on the panel. I can't the Aliens movie, I don't know why. It's too much. If my hubby watches it, he has to mute it and I have to have my blinders on because I can't watch it.
Scary.
It's just too much. Yeah, I don't know why. I can do ghost hunting for a possible demon in the middle of the night that I've done. Sure. That? No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Is there so speaking of so that's interesting. So you that you because most I'll say most to a lot of chicks individuals, they could care less about aliens. They're not interested. It's just not, you know, boobs, lipstick, and outfits. Yes, that's stereotyping, but it's true. Um, is there anything that yet you've read about lately about like any certain like all this discovery about aliens that you're interested in? think we're gonna lose her again.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
see.
I don't know what's
I,
okay.
that's okay. I think you have a kind of a weird connection because you're real grainy, and I think it's just dumping you. That's okay.
Okay,
I can still
okay.
hear your voice when you talk, so that's they can still see you.
Okay.
With all this like alien chatter that's been in the news lately, has there been kind of a news story that you're wondering about? Like if you think that
I
they're
just
at some place or not, or
I think I think the government knows and they are like giving us hints, but I would love actual proof. Like I just would love for
right.
them to show us something, just a shred of something. And like I love the UAP stuff that they show. Like they have the videos of the people who are flying and they see these unidentified objects and they're like seeing it on their scanners. And I've seen things of that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want more of this. I just need some
Yeah.
solid proof.
'Cause I wondered about that for so long, and that was something I remember I had put that I was wondering if you had interest in that, because it's now that they have these military members that were, flyers of some kind, either a helicopter, fighter jet, they're starting to say that they've seen things, and I think we need more it's gonna have to take more people coming forward to talk about that, but it was almost like they came out with it and all these people said, "Yeah, I saw it," and it was like a lackluster hoorah.
Yeah. Like, people, like,
I
were
didn't I didn't expect
unfazed
that.
by it. Yeah.
Right,
I didn't either. I was like, "They're finally saying something." Like, I don't know. I'm like, I
right,
guess people are so unfazed by it because of maybe just being exposed to a lot of alien stuff, like Ancient Aliens and movies and
right.
stuff, and people are like maybe
Because
they're
there's a
just like,
gajillion
"Oh, I don't know."
shows on
Yeah.
aliens, and maybe just with the way everything that's going down these days, they're like, "You know what? That's nothing. That's down here, and the other things are up here." Like, at the priority of it all, like, I'll say political, but we're not talking about politics, but in a sense where they're like, "The world's a mess. I really don't care about aliens," which is crazy to me. Absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
I can
That
but I can see that's exactly, I think that's what you said. It's kind of that reason too. I think people are just so, like, focused on other things, and it's makes sense, you know?
Yeah. So you have that belief in you're saying I have that interest, show me proof. So that's something that's on the plate. Have What about paranormal wise? Like spooks, specters, ghosts? I do you have an interest in that, something in particular? I haven't heard you guys talk about things like that, so I'm always curious where you sit in the world.
I actually I was looking forward to this question because I do have a story, and it's it's kinda scary. Um, so I had an experience where I was with my ex-husband at the time, and I had gone through some pretty heavy stuff that I
Mhm.
probably was suffering a little bit of PTSD from. But at the same time, this experience was very undeniable. It was very interesting. So I remember one night I was laying in bed and I woke up and I saw like a shadowy figure at the side of my bed. And
Oh.
I didn't just see it, I felt presence. Like, I felt the presence was there. And I just remember getting up and screaming, like, freaking out, and I don't even know how
Wow.
this happened, but somehow I, like, jumped over my husband at the time and got to the other side of the bed and, like, "Ah!" Like, I was shaking him, and he woke up and turned on the light. But it was such a feeling I'll never forget
Whoa.
because it felt like somebody was in my house standing over me, and I freaked out, and I haven't had an experience like that since 'cause I swear I never want to again. But then I started hearing about I started hearing about people having experience of seeing shadow people, and I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like, this is an actual thing." So,
Mhm.
yeah,
It
so I
is.
wouldn't say it made me delve deeper into that, but Yeah, I was like,
You
"Oh
were
my
like,
gosh, that
"No,
had to
no.
have been what it was."
Get out of my no-no zone. You're not allowed here.
No more.
Like, no more."
Yes.
But I think there's something to that. So I don't know if we briefly mentioned we had a chance to chat at GhoulieCon, but I'm not sure at what extent. So I've been researching the paranormal for 20 years. I've been investigating for 17. And I swear when I went through similar situation, this is not to degrade yours, just to say I was also in a similar situation. I had an ex, very stressful,
Yeah.
um, you know, and I swear I I had more things like that happen when I was super, super stressed
Mm.
out, or under that, like, household stress. I'm not talking like work, but,
Yeah.
that kind of stress. And I
Yeah.
think there's something to that. I just haven't figured it out yet, but but I think there's something to
Yeah.
it. And I've only ever had I've only it's strange that lots of people talk about these shadow figures. And I had one in the bedroom here, and I'm not in like, I'm with my husband now, and he's the bomb, so I'm not sure what was going on, but there was stress. He
Yeah.
wasn't here though, and I had a figure
Mm.
standing in the corner, but it was so dark, it was like you could see it, but you couldn't see it. What was
Mhm.
it was it lit and you could see this figure, or was it super dark and then you could kinda see like an outline?
Yeah, that's kinda what it was. Because I remember hearing about how people will see different ones, like, people will see, like, a shadow guy with a brimmed hat, some will see a shadow, like, an old hag shadow person. What I saw was, like, the form of a man, but
Mhm.
formless as far as features, but
Right,
it was an
just a
outline
shadow.
of a shadow. Yeah, it was very
Oh,
scary.
it is, and even for someone who's been around it, because I don't that doesn't happen very often to many people, and
Right.
I think people that claim that a lot, I question it. But that's just how I roll. I'm very skeptical. And I feel like if it only happened once, like that where it was so severe, I bet that you legit saw what you saw. And
Yeah.
I wonder what it was. Like,
I know. I wonder if it's, like, feeding off of negative energy, like kind of what we were talking about in our situations. Like maybe it
yeah,
appears with the negative energy that you have, or maybe I don't know. Like it seemed kind of like that's what it was, but I don't know. Like it's
yeah.
such a weird experience, but it's crazy that other people experience it, which is why I was so floored when I looked into
You're
that.
not alone. Yep, you're absolutely not alone. Quick shout out. We have Ghost Dog in the comments. He says hello. And
Hey.
then also that some people see Carrot Top. He's
Yeah. That's so funny.
But that's I think I would love to just, like, get so many of those situations and just record and figure out, like, I wish there's instrumentation in the room. What was the
Yeah.
temperature? What was the because that's the nerd. That's the uber nerd in me. That's just how I approach it. Have you ever had anything else, like seen a mist or anything like that? Or just that
That
one?
honestly was the only time. That was the only time, and it like, the feeling I can't even the feeling of it was so ominous. Like, I just remember feeling, like, this existential dread, like, it
Like
was
danger.
so weird.
Mhm. That's our
Yeah.
spidey sense.
So,
I think
I
that even if you not
yes,
necessarily believe in all the metaphysical stuff, I think our meat suits still have some sort of alarm system in them that tells you you're in danger.
yes.
"Girl, you in danger."
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
that's
thankfully, like, haven't had anything else like that again, and I felt like I was, like, mentally, like, "Don't ever let that." Like, I just hope that never happens again, and it hasn't, thank God, but, like, yeah.
Yeah, and this is actually a good question. This was something I was thinking. So, I guess there's a difference. Like a shadow, you can see through it, or is it like an absence of all light, where it's just a void? Did it feel like you could see through it, or was it like black void?
That's what it was. It was you couldn't see through it. It was black void. Like it was almost like you could see the silhouette of the figure, but you couldn't see
Mhm.
through it. It felt like there was a person actually there. And when I woke
Yeah.
up and seeing that there was nothing was like, "Oh my gosh." Like it was crazy.
That
And I really have only told a few people about this because I guess like when you talk about this with people. So when I saw this question, I was like, I get to talk about this. It's so weird. But it's got to
Well,
be
I thank
interesting,
you for sharing it, because I think that's part of it too, because now you're like, "Well, if I see it, is it because my brain was thinking about it and, like a dream?" Like
Right.
you're doing something, then
Yeah.
then you see it again. So I do that's a very interesting share, and I thank you for sharing that, because you're not
Yeah.
from what I've gathered, it's not like you're not a paranormal investigator, you're not a research like, it's not like you live it every single day where it
Right.
would pop up. I love that.
Right.
Ooh, I love a good creepy
Yeah.
ghost story. Yes, ghosts for the win. That's what I live for.
It
I
it
do
it is
absolutely
pretty
love it.
interesting.
It is, because there's something to it, like, and I can't remember where. I wanna say that was here. We went to Poasttown Elementary here. It's a haunted location, which, folks, if you're watching, there's gonna be a special, thing coming this summer where we're returning to Poasttown for a private investigation. Soft launch, if you're
Cool.
watching. Um, but it was almost I remember seeing that, and you could stick your hand into what felt like as if you stuck your hand in the freezer, and then you could take it out,
Mhm.
and it would go away. Like, it was void of color, it was void of everything, including any temperature. It was the weirdest thing, and
So,
of course
yeah.
of course, I stuck my hand, in it, because it's like, "What is
Yeah.
this?"
Yeah.
Like, I'd
Yeah.
be dead if it was a horror movie, but, at least I know that.
But that's what makes it interesting is that you are trying to test and see, you know, you're trying to find
Yeah,
measurable things with
to
studying the
prove
paranormal.
yes, and that's always been my approach. I believe was it Alex that called did you meet Alex of Strange Talk when you were at
I think
GhoulieCon
so,
for our
yes.
panel? Because we did a panel together, the
Yes.
Phantom Focus panel, and she knows I have, like,
Yes.
all of these pieces of equipment. She's like, "You're like the Mary Poppins of the paranormal," because I'll pull out, like, all of these pieces of equipment to try to it's all the time. It's ridiculous. I have a problem.
No, I think it's
Like
cool.
and so you had I'll say a ghost slash some sort of paranormal thing. When it comes back to the extraterrestrial and aliens, now have you ever seen anything yourself? Seen a UFO, or like you saw maybe something in the water? Have you ever had anything like that?
No, that is one I wish I experienced. Like, that is one thing
Yeah,
I would definitely, like I don't know, I would be terrified if I saw an alien, but at the same time, I want to, I don't know, like, I just would
there's
like
something
to
about it.
see Yes, like, part of me
Mhm.
really doesn't think that the aliens would come to destroy us because I feel like they would have already. I feel like kind of like the Mothman, which we'll get into, like they are here to help us, I don't know, get through things, like keep us from disaster. That's what I'd like to think. Maybe that's far reaching, but I think it would be really cool, like to finally experience that and see what they're here for and why people see them and why they haven't made themselves known yet.
Right. I'm like, why are they waiting? Why are they waiting? I don't like the
Right.
unknowns. I have to know. I have to
Right.
know. I have because I didn't see the little comments in the car. Sorry, I missed these just a second ago. So something to go real quick back to paranormal. We're talking about that.
Yeah.
There's a sleep paralysis issue. It sounds like the figure that paralyzed me in my sleep after the cemetery in Cleveland. So we went to Riverside Cemetery up in Cleveland. The place is amazing and it's awesome, but you can feel, like you said, you have that feeling if you're going to go off the
Mhm.
feels where you're like something is standing over there, or you caught like a you thought you caught something moving. And after we went there, I forgot that that happened. And and the hubby is not very you know, fuzzy la la about ghosts, like I feel this or I do that. He has like a very straightforward approach to it. And I couldn't believe, I couldn't think something like that could happen to him. So, like you,
Right.
where you're like, I'm not really in it. I'm not, I have no reason for them to be after me. So that was kind of an interesting, I forgot about that little thing.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
a I have a friend of mine who was in my team back in Washington with girls investigating ghosts and the supernatural gigs. It was our team. And it turns out all these years we never talked about it, but after we would have an investigation, our dreams would have some sort of ghost, or there'd be somebody like standing next to the bed. Like, it's very
Mhm.
strange. Like there's
Yeah.
something to it. I just can't put my finger on it. So it's like, what's at these locations? Were you, maybe you went to a location that day that you didn't know was hot? Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm like, I need more data. More data.
And dreams
And we
are
were
very
briefly,
interesting in itself.
I
Like
agree.
when you
Yeah.
when you dream about something, like I don't know, like well, I know we're gonna get into that, but
That's
yeah.
okay. There's no structure.
I
We
do
just do
think
what we
that
want.
there's something yeah. But yeah, I do think that dreams have some sort of interpretation. Not all dreams, because some of them are ridiculous. But sometimes, like you said, you experience something or whatever, um, there could be some meaning behind it.
Right. Like, what do we carry around, like it's like mud stuck on your shoe, for lack of a weird analogy. Like, kind of weird. But the dreams, yes,
Yeah.
we're going to get to that here in just a second, cuz you mentioned Mothman. We got to go back and talk about cryptids. Now, it sounds, cuz you've
Yeah.
already mentioned Mothman, do you have, is that your favorite cryptid, or do you study cryptids, or where did that
I am
mention come from?
I'm not super familiar with all the cryptids, I will be honest, but I am fascinated by them. Mothman, I think I'm most fascinated by because I love I don't know, the way he looks. There's something
Mhm.
so
Great lore.
just
Speaking
in
of lore,
yeah,
the lore
yeah,
on
and
that is
again, kind of like
fantastic.
yeah, and kinda like I said with the aliens, like him being sort of like an omen before something happens, like, again, like people
Sure.
it's so mysterious. Is the Mothman trying to warn, or is he trying to bring the destruction? I don't think that's the case. I think he obviously is. I think he's the one who helps to warn. But yeah,
Right.
overall, I'm not super familiar with all of the lore, but I do find him the most interesting. And I and I also think it's funny that the statue of him is double cheeked up and like that just makes me laugh. So I love that too.
Yeah. So the guy that so fun fact, Mothman was the very first episode that I did here on Creepy Confidential. He was kind of the reason why I started it. I just fell in love with him and the lore and the stories, and I don't know, I went from Sasquatch being my favorite to Mothman being my favorite. And I think because the aliens and Mothman have a connection. There's Indrid Cold, who was an alien, or supposedly, and then you have
Mhm.
Mothman itself and all this radio chatter and everything that happened around the same time. And then you have a radioactive area where ammunition used to be that he's living. So you almost have like a comic book start of the story, like Spider-Man almost, but
Yeah.
Mothman. And just the story that these two couples talk about, that this thing was chasing them in their 57 Chevy over 100 miles an hour, and this thing is like shoo, 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 out the back window. I would have pooped myself. Like, don't, that's just crazy to me that that happened. Oh, I think we lost
Yeah.
her again.
Sure.
Oh, there you go.
I
Gotcha.
I yeah, I don't know. My connection's probably not great. I'm sorry.
That's all right. If I look up and I see that you're frozen, then I assume that you. But Mothman's very popular, very very popular, and the statue was actually done by a man who did art for High Times. So there's kind of a little bit of a like, well, why? Like that kind of thing. So it looks like Ghost Dog is also Team Mothman. I have a Mothman
Yeah.
shirt around here somewhere. I have glasses and everything. More in Bathwood and the Flatwoods. So now we're because you're more north. You're in New York, but
Yeah.
down in like this part of the Appalachia area, Mothman's huge. Flatwoods monster, which is supposedly an alien, is also very interesting. The art that's right there
Mhm.
is the Flatwoods monster. So I'm always like interested if you've ever had do you have a cryptid that's in your area that people talk about?
No, I mean, not that I know of.
It's
I've
not
heard of,
popular
like
enough for you to know it.
right. I've heard of, like, the Jersey Devil, but I'm more Western New York, so I don't hear too much about that.
Yeah,
But I've heard
that's
of
a
it.
famous one, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's super famous.
Yeah. So I've heard of them, but I don't know too much about them. My fiance has a whole book of, like, monsters and cryptids, and,
Uh-huh.
like, it's an old book, and I'm like, "I should read this one day," 'cause it's got, like, all the lore of, like, even Nessie, like, it has
Oh,
everything
yeah?
in there. Yeah,
Yeah. I just did that was, like, one of the first episodes of this year is I wanted to start talking about all the water monsters that are out
it's
here in the
cool.
area. And, Nessie and Champ they're New York, they're headed your way. So
Mm,
it's just interesting, like, they change depending on, like, the water creatures are more up towards the lakes, the ocean. That's where you see more of those, and then when you get down here in the Appalachia, they somehow fly. A lot of them fly. I'm like, "It's so interesting." Yeah,
yeah.
I can go on and on about cryptids. Now, do you have a favorite one? I know you said you're not, like, super into it. Do you think Mothman's probably at the top of your list?
I would say I literally was gonna say I think it's kinda like you. I'm tied with Sasquatch and Mothman. I
Yeah,
think that the Sasquatch is pretty interesting too. So yeah,
yeah.
between those 2, I think those are my top.
The 1 and 2s.
Yes.
Oh, we touched briefly about dreams, and that was something that I wanted to come back and almost kind of be something that we finish on today, I guess, is I started something called the dream screen, and I'm super interested in dreams and recording dreams and talking about them on different people. Now, I think it's just kind of a way to try to figure out what our crazy brain is trying to tell us. Um, now, do you dream? And if so, do you have like a bizarre dream you'd like to share?
I am a very vivid dreamer. It's pretty crazy. Um, but I remember when I was a kid, I had a recurring dream. And there were 2 of them. One of them was about Chucky because I hated Chucky and I was afraid of
Same.
him, but, it would basically be me at a school dance, and we get into a circle and he just murders everybody, like, and I
Chucky
would have
does?
Chucky does, and
Oh, heck
I
no.
literally had that dream multiple times, which is so weird. Like, recurring dreams always are weird to me. But then the other dream I had that was reoccurring that was super weird would be like I'm in some sort of asylum or hospital, and it would be like
Oh,
flashes. And like one of the scenes would be like I'm sorry, this is super morbid.
that's okay.
um
We cover everything.
so one would
It's
be
in the name, creepy.
yes, it's true, it's true. One would be of like a woman who would have literally it would be like her bottom half is lower than her top half, like she's cut in half. So it would be like a
Oh.
flash and I'd see her in like the hospital bed. And then it would flash again and I would see like and this one would always be in it. Like even if I had different visions of different things, this guy would always be in it, and he was faceless, he was like bald, and he would just be making like sounds like but he had no mouth, and like
Oh
he was
no.
always in the
Mm-mm.
dream. Yeah, I know, like what is
Creepy.
wrong with my brain?
Well, I'll be on the playback. I'm gonna look those up. I have books.
Oh
I don't know if
really?
you've seen that. I don't know if you know. So I have my own creepy library. This is half. It's all over here. I have so many books, and I have a pretty good section on dreams because I want to dissect them and figure out like. I mean, that's weird. It's
You
almost
have to
like
tell me, like, if you find something,
if I
like,
find something.
seriously, tell me, because, like, why was I having this recurring dream? And, like, then I would have one of, like, a kid, who, like, had no arms and they were just, like, stumps. And, like, it was just, like, people in these horrible, like, disgusting things at the hospital. But I would always have the guy with no face, like, struggling and, like,
Weird. And that's the
super
strange
weird.
part is like I think like having one dream, it's like this is what my brain is working on, whatever it may be, it's going to digest it and it'll be done in the morning. But when you have a reoccurring dream that's pretty similar or the exact same dream, like I used to have the same one, like why?
Yeah.
Where? Is it like another dimension? Is it are you skipping time? Are you like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, dreams are so weird.
They are. And I also feel like I often experience deja vu. Like,
Yes,
I
me
even felt like
too.
the other day when I was at work, I was working on a patient and I saw the doctor walk by and he like made a joke and the other guy like laughed, and I was like, I have experienced this before. Like this is
Been
deja
here
vu. And
before.
that's so weird to me too. Like why why do I we experience that too?
Yeah, and that's I think that's weird. I think I used to have déjà vu more frequently, but still really spaced out. And now it's every now and then that I'll have it. But I used to have like I was a vet tech for a long time and we ran a lot of like labs and things. Why would I have déjà vu about like loading blood slides into a machine over and over and then hearing them make a certain joke and looking at the board and there's so many it's the exact same patients. I'm like,
Right.
where did I get it? Where did
Right.
it come from? Or is
Yeah.
it like a trick on your mind where you're like, it's déjà vu, but it's not really. You
Yeah,
just
like
think it
maybe
is.
it's not. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
so weird.
I think there's a theory about that is that's what you're oh, yep. I'm so glad he said this. So I was just gonna try I was trying to
Oh.
articulate it, is it's basically the dimension, like our if you believe in that, that all of our dimensions, this is when they're like slamming up against one another and you're seeing yourself in another dimension. Like it got really
Wow, that's
close.
cool. That's very
Yeah.
deep, but I can see that
This
being
sounds like
the
stoner
case.
BS, but I swear this is what people think. There be no stoner here. I'm just trying to say, that's people are trying to figure it out.
Yeah. It's
It's so
very
wild.
interesting. So, and,
I
like, how would I have that in my brain as a kid too? Like, why would that
where
be
did
my
it come from?
reoccurring dream? Like, yeah.
Yeah. See, and I also I don't want it could be like a past life or another this is just me thinking about it. Because even as a little like teeny tiny little kid, my mom asked me, she told me this later. I was in the back seat and they said they were going through like a McDonald's or something and they were working on, you ask a kid, "How old are you?" and they hold up fingers. And I said, "I'm 99."
Wow.
And I went to I mean, I would have been less than kindergarten years old. I didn't know 99 yet. I mean, I was
Right.
smart, but I'm not that smart. So and that's so I wonder where did these little pieces come from? But
Yeah.
the morbid part of that and like the it's traumatic. It's traumatic to see that. But it was like, what movies? Had you seen The Matrix? Like when his face is blanked out,
I
like
don't think so, like, I don't even think that came out. I don't know, but yeah, like, I liked horror when I was a kid, and I would definitely, like, be into scary movies, but
mhm.
not to the point where I would see something like that, like in my dreams, like so vividly, like that I remember it now at this age, like years from
Yeah.
now. Like I still remember that dream so vividly and how it happened so often that I like how can I remember that to this day? Like people usually don't remember their dreams. Like at least I mean,
No.
I don't know. So,
No, and it's more frequent to not remember the dream than to remember your dream. So it and then it's how does that recurring dream, why does it stick? Why do I know
mhm,
it? Why can I recount the colors, the way it felt, the way the wind was blowing, like crazy things like that. Oh man.
mhm.
Yeah. You should come on the dream screen.
Definitely, and like I said, I'm serious, if you find something on that, I would be so interested to hear, like, what that could possibly mean, like
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that would be a fun one, and that's if you get a chance well, the first ones with Joanna, the very first one that we did, we talked about we both had a recurring dream that had been with us, and we really got deep into the weeds on that one, and it was like the first few times where we just really realized what was going on, and Alex had some strange dreams too, and we tried to break those down. Oh, yeah,
That's so
telling you.
cool.
If you can recount it from, like, start to finish, and then we go over it, that's totally what we do.
Yeah,
'Cause dreams and paranormal, those are, like, my bread and butter.
that's really cool, that's really cool.
Now we have, I wanted to make sure you shared with the dream. Everyone knows I have notes, they're used to it, so it's not like I'm breaking the wall.
It's a good
Now
thing.
I know, I have to, it's the only way to keep me going forward.
Same.
But before we wrap up, 'cause we had a chance to really cover a little bit of everything, and I just really wanted the creeps to be able to meet at least one of the Doom buddies. Can you give a shout out about maybe something you're working on or where they can find you? And then, but everything will be linked, of course, where to find them below. But you want to
Yeah.
give yourself a shout out?
Yeah, so, we are Doom Buddies, DOOM_buddies. We are on Instagram, TikTok, and we vlog and have a podcast. So, vlogs can be watched on YouTube, and our podcast is on Spotify and Apple. And, we are going to be going to MegaCon Orlando in the next few weeks.
What's
So,
that?
it's, a big convention, which I'm sad because it's during, GhouliCon part 2.
There's a lot happening. Yeah.
I know. So we had already made plans to do that before they told us that, and I was like, "Oh, no." So, we'll be sad to miss that, but yeah, so we're gonna be going to MegaCon. It's a big Comic-Con that they do in Orlando. They have lots of celebrities going. For one, they're having a bunch of, cast members from Lord of the Rings that are gonna be there. So we're definitely
Yeah,
gonna check out their panels. We're gonna go in cosplay.
of course.
And they do like an after hours party at Universal, which they're allowing us to do the Mardi Gras. So that'd be the first time we did that. So we're gonna vlog that. So lots of content coming for that. And yeah. Otherwise, we're gonna be planning our HHN trip in October, which for the anniversary year. So lots to look forward to this year.
Awesome. You got lots coming on. Coming in the show and doing I listen to you guys on Spotify, and I love that I can just hit it and learn something about HHN. So all the
Ah,
information for the Doom Buddies is going to be in the show notes as usual, like I do. Thank you for tuning in tonight. If you've managed to catch
yes.
the live, Erin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you
And
so
then
much.
you're very welcome. The replay for this will be over on the Patreon. It's a Patreon exclusive to go to replays for the 2026. So you're special. You'll be over there. And thank you again so much. I'm just gonna take us out, but so don't leave. But everybody, thank you so much for joining, and we'll catch you next time right here on Creepy Confidential. Bye, creeps.
Bye.